there's a rabbi that I talk to every once in a while, and whereas the conversation is always great and fulfilling to an extent, you know what I mean? It's always good theological conversation. He always tries to point me in the direction of the black church, and I had to eventually just tell him, like, sir, I like, honestly, when it comes to my community, they're dumb. All right, like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be mean, but like, so easily misled, so easily misguided, and it's heartbreaking to an extent, because when it comes to like interacting with these folks, I know they mean good, but unfortunately misguided, misdirected, and and there's a lot of lies that have been brought and sold hook, line, and sinker, that they're like all in. Like brainwashing ain't even the word, man. It really isn't. And the argument about race realism on YouTube got literally kicked off the platform. I remember that whole Rage Against the Storm chick and that whole nine. But the deal is that when it comes to, the bell curve, like, gosh, y'all haven't given me much to defend. And speaking of defense, we have this article here from Ta-Nahisi Coates, who is a part of the BVMM, with the Black Victim Mentality movement, where all of his writing is just America, and black man, loads, ow, we still feel those. We feel. What did I say? My pimp strut is from when they whipped us. Like, bruh. That's definitely. But the Ta-Nahisi Coates does not make it sound as fly as Nas did. Damn, that was a good album too. That was the one with Black Republican. I think it was called Nigga, but they didn't release it. It was released untitled. Either ways, we have an opinion piece where Mr. Coates defends Colin Kaepernick, and why, I can't tell you. I'm about to try and tell you. That's why this whole video exists. So, without further ado, Ta-Nahisi Coates, the cancellation of Colin Kaepernick. Cancel culture has always existed, for the powerful at least. Now, social media has democratized it. By Ta-Nahisi Coates. First and foremost, social pariahs have always been a thing. Seriously, it used to be far when before the internet existed. In a town, in the towns, it would be way easier to be a social pariah. Back in the day, like, the girl that got pregnant, yeah, she was a social pariah. You cancel that shit, and to an extent, should we go back there? I'll let you decide. Either ways, there he is right there. Seriously, and he's like, he's waking up 5 a.m. every day, working out, being right. I don't know. Shoot, man, he don't look like he's in much better shape than I am. We are being told of the evils of cancel culture, a new scourge that enforces purity, banishes dissent, and squelches sober and reasoned debate. But cancel culture is not new. A brief accounting of the illustrious and venerable ranks of blocked and dragged Americans encompasses Sarah Good, Elijah Lovejoy, Ida B. Wells, Dalton Trumbo, Paul Robeson, and the Dixie Chicks. Okay. What was the Compromise of 1877, which ended Reconstruction, but the cancellation of the Black South? What were the detention camps during World War II, but the racist musings of Japanese Americans and their basic rights? Thus, any sober assessment of this history must conclude that the present objections to cancel culture are not so much concerned with the weapon as the kind of people who now seek to wield it. Until recently, cancellation flowed exclusively downward from the powerful to the powerless. But now, in this era of fallen gatekeepers, where anyone with a Twitter handle or Facebook account can be a publisher, banishment has been ostensibly democratized. This development has occasioned much consternation. Scarcely a day goes by without America's college students being reproached or rejecting poorly rendered sushi or spurning the defenders of statutory forced entry. Speaking as one who has felt the hot wrath of all things Twitter, I am not without sympathy for the morally panicked who fear that the kids are not all right. Have you not seen these drags? Have you not been paying attention? Jessica Yaniv, drag queen story hours. I mean, yeah, the kids are really, really fucked right now, okay? But it is good to remember that while every generation believes that it invented sex, every preceding generation forgets that it once believed the same thing. Besides, all cancellations are not created equal. Christine Blasey Ford, who accused Brett Kavanaugh at his Supreme Court confirmation hearings of sexual assault, was inundated with death threats, forced from her home, and driven into hiding. Oh, Lord. Dave Chappelle, accused of transphobia, collected millions from Netflix for a series of stand-up specials and got his feelings hurt. Okay, we gotta press the fear in Dave Chappelle. Is Hannah Georges, the fear in Dave Chappelle. See from the Atlantic. This is the New York Times, the Atlantic. It's all like when they sit there and say liberal media, like maybe not make it so obvious, I guess. That liberal media, because I think that Hannah person is a T. You know, I think the Hannah person is a T. I think I've seen them on TYT. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, like the fear of Dave Chappelle. No, it wasn't fear. He was making joke. My goodness. And Ta-Nahisi Coates, he represents that. That's a big part of the reason why I wanted to get into some of his work, because he, like, I'm a victim. I'm such a victim. Oh, it's so bold. And he makes good money being nothing more than a slaves. Jesus, is he even a descendant? Like, honestly, we should still have papers. I'm joking. It would be nice to live in a more forgiving world, one where dissenting from groupthink does not invite exile, and people's occasional lapses are not held up as evidence of who they are. But if we are to construct such a world, we would do well to leave the slight acts of cancellation affected in the quad and cafe and proceed to more illustrious offices. The NFL is revered in this country as a paragon of patriotism and chivalry. Really? Like, I mean, really, this football, my guy, like, patriotism and chivalry, like, yeah, like, they actually, like, the NFL and the government, yeah, they've been collaborating for a very long time, but chivalry, I mean, it's a violent sport where guys, like, go down and really, really bang, and bang out, and actually, they can't do it as hard as they used to back in the day. I mean, shoot, remember the Leatherheads? A sacred trust controlled by some of the wealthiest men and women in America. For the past 3 years, this sacred trust has executed... Wait, a sacred trust? Nigga, it's football. What are you talking about? It's just the NFL. Like, the thing that the NFL don't really tie folks to this country as much as, you know, service and family roots do. When you have 200 years plus on the face of the earth, shoot, man, like, yeah, people will settle in. Like, so thusly, I mean, like, one corporation such as the NFL, nah, they see, here's the thing when it comes to the media. What the media has done is symbolize the NFL as, like, oh, well, you know, the biggest thing in America. It's 32 teams owned by 32 people. Yes, they are insanely wealthy, and, you know, good. Capitalism at its finest, right? But don't sit here and be like, yo, like, it's like, oh, patriotism and chivalry. What the fuck are you talking about? My goodness. Like, trust me, they're not the gladiators of old, sir. Like, the deal is that I'd actually love it if we were in gladiatorial times where, you know, Spartacus and all in the Greek era. You know, like, where it was in the arena. We're going to settle this in the arena. Oh, yes, by all means. I love that shit. I'm there for it. Why? Because guess what? If you suck, you ain't got to live with it real long. I'll tell you that much. For the past 3 years, this sacred trust has executed with brutal efficiency the cancellation of Colin Kaepernick. Really? And here you are to keep boosting them up. Right? Golly, you can't tell me this nigga ain't had his butthole played with. This is curious, given the NFL's moral libertinism. Yeah, whatever. The league has, at various points, been a home for domestic abusers, child abusers, and open racists. And yet, it seems Mr. Kaepernick refusing to stand for the national anthem offends the NFL's suddenly delicate sensibilities. And here he is just pushing these laws. And wow, the influence of hashtags should not be underestimated. The NFL has a different power at its fingertips. The power of monopoly. Effectively, Mr. Kaepernick's cancellation bars him from making a living at a skill he has been honing since childhood, even though he's 33 right now. And honestly, he looked like I do in freaking shorts. He ain't been working out, he ain't been eating. Boy got big. Like, come on. It is true that he has found gainful employment with Nike. But only so much solace can be taken in this, given that Mr. Kaepernick's opponents occupy not just boardrooms and owners' boxes, but the White House. Wouldn't you love to see one of these NFL owners, when somebody disrespects our flag, to say, "Get that son of a off the field right now"? President Trump said in 2017, the NFL has since dutifully obeyed. Yo! Yo, oh my goodness, I gotta wash my hands. I feel like I just grabbed a used bloody tampon, and it's in my hands right now. This is ridiculous, dude. What are you talking about? Perhaps it is shocking for some to see the President of the United States endorse the cancellation of a pro football player, like he endorsed the cancellation of Hillary Clinton, lock her up, and of Ilhan Omar, send her back. But it is precisely this kind of capricious and biased use of institutional power that has birthed the cancel culture practiced by campus protesters and online. But whereas the wrongdoing of elite institutions was once hidden from public view, in the era of Donald Trump, it's all there to be seen. Oh my goodness. Oh Lord, they're burning. They're burning the crosses. They're burning the crosses. Where they hanging them from? Where are they hanging? Christ, dude. Oh my goodness. I need a steak for dinner. The sobering process that began with the broadcast beatings of civil rights marchers in 1965 accelerated. Blah 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 blah. Mr. Trump's boasting essentially can't prove no barrier to do. Because you know what? You know, it's like really. I'm gonna give you the last two paragraphs, because I'm not reading this garbage. Like, it's trash. He's just sitting here crying, bitching. Golly, dude, and offer nothing. You got access to this platform, right? You got access to the New York Times, right? I mean, I probably get access to it too, but I'm not writing like that. But either ways, yo, you have access to this platform, and instead of like, yo, focusing on things that really matter, things that we can really focus on, guys. If you're a sub, you know what I talk about all the time here. But instead of focusing on these things, what are you doing? Oh, Colin Kaepernick, yo, this nigga's trash, yo. Honestly. Jesus. My goodness. It has been said that Colin Kaepernick missed an opportunity, that no matter how crooked the bargain, if he were truly serious about getting a job, he would have acceded to the NFL's demands. But Mr. Kaepernick is not fighting for a job. He is fighting against cancellation. And his struggle is not merely his own. It is the struggle of Major Taylor, Jack Johnson. You know what? Fuck it. I'm not giving you that last paragraph. You're a piece of shit, Ta-Nahisi Coates. I do not like you. I think you are a garbage writer. I think you sit here, you stand on the grave, stand on the history, stand on the backs of because I don't know your lineage, of my ancestors, and you're a piece of shit for it. You really are. Sitting here for your pieces of silver? Fuck you. Seriously. Oh my goodness, I know this is a little rough. It's a little rough with the language at the end of this video, but the deal is that this channel is not for kids. I'm not talking to kids. I've seen my analytics now. I'm not talking to kids at all. So guys, this is bullshit. This is trash right here. Ta-Nahisi Coates needs to be ashamed of his damn self, if he's even a descendant. So who the hell knows? Everybody saying, "Oh yeah, I'm black," so like, you're black. So. Oh my goodness. Either ways, guys, That being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you like the toss it a like, dislike, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub. If you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get videos like this every single day, share, because sharing is caring. YouTube and bitch you don't like. I'm the biggest fan of your boy of your boy over here. Ring the bell because notifications are a thing that, every once in a while. And speak. Let me know. What do you think in the comments? I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry about my language. I really am. I'm a gentleman. But this is disgusting. You ain't gonna say to them like Muhammad Ali, Jack Johnson, and all these other people who really. This was about his contract. It was always about his contract. It's actually refreshing to see people starting to see this. But if you are a longtime sub of mine, or in particularly if you're from the other channel, you know where I stand with this. Let me know where you stand with this. That's why I have a comment section. And until the next one.